I didn't raise my voice when my mother-in-law announced, in front of 20 people, that my daughter missing the family vacation was a lesson in respect. I just looked at her and smiled. Everyone thought I was calm. What they didn't know was that I was memorizing every second of her arrogance, because the moment she smirked, I understood something clearly. She had crossed a line she would never be allowed to step back over. And 3 days later, her entire world began to fall apart. I was still holding the empty drawer where my daughter's passport should have been when she said it. That small, smug sentence that scraped every nerve raw. Maybe next time she'll learn to listen. My daughter stood nearby with red eyes, her suitcase already zipped, her excitement crushed flat. 5 months of planning, 5 months of anticipation, erased by one petty, calculated act of control. I didn't explode. I took one slow breath. People who mistake silence for weakness always regret it. When I first met her, she clung to politeness like a performance she enjoyed too much. The hugs were too tight, the praise came too fast. She inserted herself everywhere, always smiling. I didn't recognize it then, control disguised as affection. She loved my husband the way some mothers do, possessive, competitive, with an invisible leash wrapped around his spine. After we married, the mask slipped. She criticized everything, my parenting, my decisions, my presence, always smiling, always framing it as concern. But the day she hid my daughter's passport, it stopped being about me. That was war. I had noticed things long before she thought I had. Homework that went missing during sleepovers, quiet comments like, "Your mom is too strict," whispered when she thought I wasn't listening. The way she tightened her hold on my husband whenever my daughter and I grew closer to him. But the passport, that was her masterpiece of manipulation. The hallway security camera captured everything. Her stepping into my daughter's room, glancing over her shoulder, sliding the passport into her oversized tote. I watched the footage twice, not to confirm what I already knew, but to burn her intentions into my memory. I wasn't heartbroken. I was finished. I didn't confront her, I didn't accuse her, I didn't even ask about the passport. People like her feed on drama, so I starved her completely. Instead, I planned. 3 days, that's all I needed. I called my attorney, who already owed me a favor. I called my husband's boss, who respected me more than his mother had ever respected herself. And then I called someone she never expected, her landlord. Because when she sabotaged my daughter, she forgot one critical detail. The house she lived in was paid for by our joint family fund. The lease was under my husband's name, and I handled the financial documents. Her throne had been built on my paperwork. It was time to pull the floorboards out. Day 1, I quietly sent the security footage to my husband. No explanation, just the video. He watched it 5 times. The silence afterward wasn't calm, it was devastated. Day 2, I initiated the withdrawal from the family fund. Rent support gone, bills removed from automatic payment. She'd notice soon enough when her phone stopped working. Day 3, I met with her landlord and provided documentation confirming our revoked financial responsibility. The eviction notice was printed before I even left the office. Then I made my final move, the one aimed at her pride, not her comfort. I invited the entire family, including her, to dinner. The stage was set. She arrived wearing confidence, convinced the passport incident had been buried, convinced I'd swallowed the humiliation. When I placed a printed still frame of her stealing the passport in the center of the table, the room froze. Her smile cracked first, then her eyes, then her breath. "What is this?" she whispered. I leaned forward, calm and deliberate. "A lesson," I said, in honesty. My husband looked at her like she was a stranger. Her sister-in-law looked betrayed. Her brother stood up, muttering something about disgust. When she tried to speak, I placed the eviction notice beside the photo. "You'll need a new place in 30 days," I said. "That's the consequence." She turned to my husband. He didn't save her. He didn't even blink. Her empire, built on manipulation, collapsed in a single breath. She tried calling me later, but her phone had already been disconnected. I slept better that night than I had in years. My daughter and I took our vacation the following month, just the two of us. She smiled the entire flight. As for my mother-in-law, she finally learned what respect really is, the kind that arrives when you realize the person you underestimated wasn't weak, she was patient, and she was waiting for the perfect moment to end your reign. And I did it quietly, efficiently, completely.